Pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense, but that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They give him a gain of 37. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Now a and this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. The clock showing 19 seconds to go. Oh, the Vikings are pointing. They've got it. Minnesota football. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion.
But they certainly aren't afraid to dial up the long ball, and fans dig the long ball. And they absolutely needed it. And guess what? They got it. How about that?
And now a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up. They'll look to throw. And he will get in. The 2-point conversion is good. And we may be on our way to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over, except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. First throw in overtime for Goff. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Goff now to throw. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there of 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him for a loss of 5. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on third down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
We're going, let's go.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Rhino! Two.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Yellow.
Cousins now on 2nd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
He's got it complete to Diggs right side. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They give him a gain of 37.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll turn to the power game to try to get in. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
Go ahead.
Throwing, Cousins. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime.